And welcome back to part 2 of the Bruder Mack dump truck conversion. The first thing we have to do is start getting our 6x6 chassis together. Oh, let's move this out of the way, and oh, well, there it is. This is the King Kong RC H6, and I threw this kit together real quick, and this is going to be the basis that we're going to put our dump truck on. So what I'm going to do is just fire up the steps. I took a bunch of pictures. We'll do a voiceover. You'll see what I got done, and after that, the next video, we can finally start dissecting this thing and trying to get it mounted up. Got a linear servo over here, nice linear actuator, bunch of other things planned, so let's just get rolling. All right, and off we go. So I've got everything laid out here. They do an excellent job of packing. And look at all this hardware. This is the hardware problem you have with them. They have so many different styles of hardware. You have to lay them all out and really pay attention to what you're doing. But once you get it all laid out, it's not too bad to sift through. And all these parts start going together fairly easy for the most part. Now with the King Kong stuff, it's nice that everything I've ever opened up from them is greased pretty well. You can see we're starting to get our transfer case, well, our first transmission in. And then this is our little pass-through bearing. It kind of gives it a little bit of extra support on its way back to the other drive shaft, because this thing has a total of 5 drive shafts. Now with the King Kong RC stuff, it's a love-hate for me, because some stuff fits really well and others does not. Like this piece right here, I made my own little scale tool so I could fit that together, because they have a lot of scale hardware where you have to have a special tool, but when you fit it in the frame rail, it doesn't seat back far enough to get your bolts in, so I had to grind a little bit off. You can see there, I also had to clamp the frame rails together to get it tight enough to fit it in. Their fitment's really tight on a lot of stuff, and I try not to tighten it down too much because it's very easy to strip and snap the bolts on these if you're building this kit. Now, I'm not going to be like putting any of the extra stuff on, like the fuel tanks and things like that, because with this dump truck build I'm doing, I don't want to use that stuff. Now with their hardware here, they had some weird little things, so I decided to use my own hardware. I'll do that a lot. I'll use a lot of my own hardware on this stuff, just because I know what I need. In order to get the next piece done, I had to make my own tool, because I had to be able to reach in and get those M2s. So I took this RC 4-wheel drive tool and ran the drill press down through it to make it kind of a deep well. That way I could get it over the bolts and get down to the nuts we needed on the leaf springs for the U-bolts. See right there? Now, all of this actually went together very nicely. I didn't have any problems once I got that tool made. It all bolted together real nice, fit real nice, but you got to really pay attention on the directions of stuff. Like the first one of these I ever built, I have my steering going backwards. Now, I really like these little links here. Those are some really nice, like little neoprene bushing type deals. Really nice silicone or something like that. And it all bolts together pretty good, but they do not leave you very much clearance room between the end of the axle and the screw. It's kind of hard to get your tool in there, so kind of a ball end would work well in that situation. So right here, everything bolts up nicely. But as I said, make sure you pay attention to your instructions on which direction everything is going. And I chose an RC 4-wheel drive 27-turn motor to put in there. And it seems to be about right. This is a heck of a vehicle. It's very heavy, very long. It's a pretty cool build. I actually really like their stuff. It's an interesting design to work with. And it's pretty heavy duty for the most part. Right here you have almost zero clearance between your servo and your motor. That is one thing I do not like. All right, now we're finally got everything bolted together. We're getting ready to put some power to it. Here we go. Nice and smooth on the servo action. We'll start getting these axles spinning. Now with the 27 turn, you can see that doesn't seem like it's moving too quick. It should be a pretty good speed for this dump truck. I just really like the way all this goes. It's fun to watch all these drive shafts and gearboxes turn and do their thing. But thanks for watching, everybody. We'll have part 3 coming soon, where we'll actually start getting the cab on. And I hope to join you there. So, catch you on the next one. Later.